What's going on, everyone? Chris from PickDogs.com. It is Sunday, June 8th, 2025. Got a solid card of action today. I got Jovan Burtz with me. We're going to be breaking it down. Get you guys in and out of here fairly quickly today because the action, starts fast and furious. It's going to get to us fairly early today. So I want to make sure that you guys have enough time to get all your bets in, get as much action on the board as you can. So we'll get to it, fairly soon. Jovan, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. As for the picks yesterday, not so much, at least on the premium side. My parlay hit. The one that I do on the channel, that was, went well, flying colors. This is one of those days where, the couple that plays that I had did turn out. I had the first five under with the Red Sox and Yankees. That went over in a hurry. Just read it wrong. You know, that happens. But on the other side, I had the Red Sox, and they did what they had to do. The bats got the cracking. They ended their slide. Now they're on the hunt to the climb rather to reach 500, which is 4 games away. So maybe they could go on a 4-game winning streak. Um, Sad state of affairs over in Red Sox Nation. Since the title in 2018, only one playoff appearance since then. They're basically an afterthought as far as I'm concerned, and many in these parts, they're an afterthought. It's not the same as it once was, but that's how it is. It was a lot of winning when they had their time over the last 20 years. So it is what it is. Same thing could be said about the Patriots, but that's football season for you.
Yeah, at least the first five got out of the way fairly quickly. At least it was just like you ripped off the band-aid. You're like, okay, that's fine. Trust me, I've had plenty of those happen over the last little bit. I just, like I said, at least you don't have to just sit there and be left hanging on by a thread and kind of sit there going, okay, well, maybe we still got a shot, and then all of a sudden, no, at least like I said, at least it was out of the way fairly quickly.
Right.
Yeah, I was in that same boat yesterday. Had a really good Friday and just couldn't carry it over into Saturday. But I said it's one day, you just leave it in the past, and now lock in on Sunday's card, try to finish the week in style, and got plenty of action to be able to do that. Plenty of Major League Baseball. So we got NBA Finals Game 2. We got some WNBA. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. Like I said, we got a solid card of action. So we'll get right into it. Let's see here. Let me pull up my card here. We got start with some Major League Baseball. We got the Tampa Bay Rays and Drew Rasmussen going here against the Miami Marlins and Anthony Veneziano. Was originally Sandy Alcantara, but now I'm seeing Veneziano potentially could be a bullpen game. We'll see for the Marlins here. We got the Milwaukee Brewers and Freddie Peralta. I was going back and forth between Freddie Peralta and Aaron Savali, but it looks like it's going to be Freddie Peralta here against the San Diego Padres and Ryan Bergert. We got the Pittsburgh Pirates, Paul Skeens going against the Philadelphia Phillies and Christopher Sanchez, and the Washington Nationals with Trevor Williams against the Texas Rangers and Jacob Latz. Jovan, what do you like here in these first four?
No, not much. But Paul Skeens Day, it is what it is with him. He's probably not going to get the run support needed to record a victory. But I mean, well, if he goes deep enough, he did go 8 in his last game in the loss. Um, this is the rubber match. Both teams won their. Well, actually, hold on. Did they play? Hold on. Is Pittsburgh going for the sweep? No. Hold on. Is this a 4-game series?
No, I think it's a 3-game. Yeah, three-game series. So yeah, they're going for the sweep today.
Oh wow! Hey, look how much I paid attention. I thought I thought Philly won yesterday, but they didn't. Andrew Heaney got it done. Um, so yeah, they're going for the sweep. Hey, maybe they could pull it off. I could only back Pittsburgh in the first 5 innings. You're dealing with the better pitcher. Christopher Sanchez, he's not a bum or anything like that. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna go with Skeens to get the job done. First 5 innings, get in and get out real quick. He should be able to manhandle this Phillies lineup. Um, Philly, they're not really seeing the ball well. So I like to take advantage of them in this spot. I don't know if they'll be able to, do damage once Skeens is out of the game, which is usually what happens. But as far as the first five, it can only be Pittsburgh for me. Um, yeah, everything else, I really can't touch as far as this first slate of games.
Yeah, for me, I'm leaning towards the Pirates as well, but it's worth noting that it's the first time in the series that the Phillies will face a right-handed starter. And the Phillies in the first two games, a lot of it had to do with the fact they faced a lefty, and they've been terrible against lefties in the last couple weeks. But um, that's worth keeping an eye on. But yeah, I gotta roll with the Pirates here. They're just playing the better baseball. Phillies lost 4 straight, 8 of 9. It's just it's all started to go downhill. The pitching's been solid for the Pirates, both starters and bullpen. So I'm gonna roll with the Pirates there. I'm also gonna lean towards the Rangers here. I've been highly critical of the Texas Rangers for good reason. This is an offense that's been really disappointing for the better part of the season. But yesterday was proof that if they can do enough, if they can get enough offense against the opposing team starter, then maybe the bullpen can hold it down. Do I think that Jacob Latz is going to go complete game shutout here? No, he's probably going to be an opener. But I think this Rangers bullpen is still decent. Trevor Williams, for me, is still one of the weak links in this Nationals rotation. And he's really struggled at home across his last 4 starts at home. An ERA close to 9. I think that Williams gets hit, and I think the Rangers do enough to win this game, win the series. So give me the Texas Rangers on the money line in that one. But we'll move on to the next 4. We got the Cleveland Guardians with Tanner Bybee getting the start here against the Houston Astros, and it looks like Brandon Walter getting the start. We got the Cincinnati Reds with Brady Singer on the mound against the Arizona Diamondbacks and Zach Gallen. We got the Detroit Tigers with Jack Flaherty on the mound against the Chicago Cubs and Cade Horton. And the Chicago White Sox with looks to be a bullpen game. Mike Bassel getting the start here against the Kansas City Royals and Michael Lorenzen. I'm going to roll the over in that Diamondbacks Reds matchup. This matchup, starting pitching matchup, to me just screams over. Gallen supposed to be the ace of this Diamondbacks rotation, but still 5.18 ERA this season. It's going to be in another hitter-friendly ballpark here. He struggled at Chase Field. I think he could struggle here. On the other side, you got Brady Singer, who still has an ERA close to 5 on the year. Again, hitter-friendly ballpark. You have 2 questionable bullpens, 2 offenses that can really put it up. So I'm going to roll with the over 9.5 there. And I'm going to take a shot on the Astros and plus money. For me, Tanner Bybee, still just, not an ace-level pitcher this season. At least, he's viewed by many as the ace of this Guardians rotation. He just hasn't had it. The Houston Astros have been the better team in this series. So catching him at plus 130 here, I think is a decent spot for me to take a stab at with the Houston Astros here. Javon?
Yeah, I'm on the opposite side. I'm on Cleveland. Really don't want to be there, but I think it has to be done. they're trying to avoid the sweep. And I think they get it done. I think Tanner Bybee, who's had a rocky season as of late, especially he's given up 7 earned runs in his last 2 starts. I think he steadies the ship against Houston, who they're not the same lineup as in years past. So just on the strength for that, I think they do avoid the sweep and get it done in this one. It's at 155, which is a slightly out of my price range. So if you want to do a -1, have at it. Just to lower the price. Um, I'll be on the over with the Diamondbacks and Reds. I just think with these two pitchers in the mix, I think we're gonna see a lot of runs. The wind's blowing out to left center at a 9 mile per hour clip. So if these hitters catch something, it could go deep in that bandbox that we call Great American Ballpark. So it could only be the over for me in that game. And we'll roll with Detroit. To get the job done. To win this series at home. Jack Flaherty's on the mound. He's had his struggles as of late, but he's a veteran pitcher. Um, Last game he did, bounce. Well, last couple games he has bounced back from, some mediocre performances. Overall, like I said, he's had a solid year. Not as solid as the last couple years that he's had. That call for him to get traded to the Dodgers, and then back over to Detroit this season. But with that said, yeah, it'll be Detroit for me.
Go on, Wayne. Anything that you like from these first half of the card here? We've gone up to the White Sox and the Royals.
Yeah, I like a lot of unders today. Fortunately, I'll be clashing with y'all on a few of them, but we'll start with that Rays Miami game since that started to give me the under. I don't think Miami sniffs a run off of Rossman, and on the other side of that, Miami sending out a lefty, little unknown about him for me, but I do know that the Rays struggle against lefties and just struggle with the bats in most parts overall. I know they're coming off a high scoring game. Last time Rays had a little 13-4 game in their last 10, and right after that it was a 1-0 game. So don't always jump on over just because you see a high scoring game the day before. But yeah, give me the under 8.5 in that one. And the Royals. Give me the Royals over the White Sox. They gotta salvage a win here. You can give me the Royals on the run line. Don't typically love Lorenzen, but in this spot, I can back them.
All right, we'll move on to the next four. We got the Minnesota Twins and Joe Ryan getting started here against the Toronto Blue Jays and Bowden Francis. We've got the St. Louis Cardinals, Michael McGreevy getting the start here against the Dodgers and Clayton Kershaw. We got the Rockies with Chase DeLander getting the start against the Mets and Tyler McGill. And the Athletics, it looks like Jacob Lopez here against the Baltimore Orioles and Tomoyuki Sugano. Wayne, what do you like here?
I'm gonna go back a little slot and then I'll jump in there. Give me the Cubs too over the Tigers. Based off the price, based off the pitching masters, based off the Cubs being a better batting team overall on the season. Maybe not recently, but overall in the season. Uh, like I said, Price will. I definitely think they can come on the road and beat the Tiger. I also like the under in that game. Just think that both of these pitcher for the Cubs have obviously been playing very solid, but Flaherty's due for a decent game as well. I think that the bullpens in this game actually show up as well. We can get under the 8.5. As far as the later slate, give me the Orioles on the bounce back. Don't love taking the Orioles, but I do think this is a game where they can come out there and get a win with Singano on the mound.
Yeah, I'm going to lean towards the towards the Cardinals here. They've had the Dodgers number so far in this series. The Dodgers offense has not been able to come out to play. Do I love Michael McGreevy? No, he's probably gonna be more of an opener than anything else. But I think I still my concerns about Clayton Kershaw. Did get help the Dodgers at least early in that game against the Mets, and the Dodgers were able to back him up and win that game late. But he still gave up a handful of runs in that start. Like I said, the Cardinals are playing well. The Dodgers offense has been non-existent in this series. So give me the Cardinals plus money at home in that one. And I also lean towards the Twins at home in this one, whether it's laying the hefty price or taking them on the run line here. The Blue Jays are the hotter team by a mile. The bullpen has been solid. Maybe if you want to take Twins first five, you don't want to deal with the Jays bullpen, but Bolton Francis has been a home run magnet. He's been giving up home runs left and right this season. Not a pitcher I'm interested in backing when that's the case. Joe Ryan, the more trustworthy starting option here. So I'll lean towards the Twins, whether it's first five, full game, your call, but Twins for me in this one. Jovan?
Yeah, I'm on the other side. I'm on the Dodgers. I know Clayton Kershaw, he's basically on the 18th hole of his career, but he is Clayton Kershaw. He's had his struggles throughout his career against the St. Louis Cardinals. It's been a mixed bag. One instance is in the playoffs. He's met them a couple different times and has got rocked. But that was when he was prime Clayton Kershaw that couldn't get over the hump in the postseason a long time ago. But with that said, the Dodgers are facing this kid McGreevy. They should take advantage of him and his his inexperience, let's just say. So I would take it first five. If you don't want to get involved with the Dodgers with their bullpen, it's fully understandable. But I would also take it on full game as well. So first half, first five, full game for me with the Dodgers, to avoid the sweep. Minnesota also in the situation where they can be swept, but they have a decided pitching advantage with Joe Ryan on the mound. I believe Bolton Francis gets boat race in this one. I don't know about as bad as he did last game when he didn't make it out of the second inning, but I expect for him to get tagged for some runs, and that's going to be the catalyst for Minnesota Twins win. Um, Jacob Lopez, he didn't make it out the second inning in this last start. That 12-0 thumping that they took in his last start. The O's are they're running hot right now, and that's the only way I could look with them. So it'll have to be Baltimore to get the job done.
All right. Move on to the last set of games for Major League Baseball. We got the San Francisco Giants and Landon Roop against the Atlanta Braves and Spencer Strider. We got the Los Angeles Angels and Tyler Anderson against the Seattle Mariners and George Kirby. And Sunday Night Baseball tonight, the Yankees and the Red Sox get Carlos Rodon against Hunter Dobbins. Jovan, what do you like here?
Sheesh, can Spencer Strider stop the bleeding? Another team that might get swept if they don't come alive. They got to hand the Landon wrong rope. He's been actually doing a decent job. Especially as of late, 3 out of his last 4 starts, he hasn't given up a earned run. And the one that he did, he gave up 1 earned run, 4 runs in all. But he's running hot. And you're facing the Braves team who's definitely been on shaky ground the whole season, dug themselves a nice sized hole, and they're trying to get up out of it. I don't know if they do. I think they get swept in this one. I'm calling for a sweep. It's San Fran for me.
Wayne, anything here?
Yeah, I just going through all my notes and stuff. It's a huge under day and a huge favorite day, and I'm an underdog better, so I don't like to say it's gonna be a huge favorite day, but it's just the way I feel and notes. But with all that being said, I'm gonna back the Yankees in Rodon and lay the run line. I just really don't think Boston would be able to bat the same way that they did yesterday, especially with Rodon on the mound. But I do trust the Yankees to stay hot with the bat. So Boston's been very sporadic this season when it comes to batting, and with a strong pitcher like this, I have no choice but to look to the Yankees on the run line.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a couple dogs. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with at least one dog. I'm gonna go with the Angels here. We talk about Spencer Strider not getting it together. Neither is George Kirby. Didn't have it in his minor league starts. Didn't have it in the first few starts this season. I mean, he did have a good start last time out, 5 innings of 2-run ball. But once again, the Mariners offense couldn't back him up. And I gotta find it. I think it's I saw this crazy stat last night. Let me see if I can still pull it up. It was Mariners and sort of just the production that their offense has given up. Cal Raleigh's been crushing it. It's like, oh, here it is. Over the last 15 games for Seattle, they're 4-11. Cal Raleigh's got 10 home runs, and there's 7 other players that have 1. Raleigh's got 20 RBIs, and then 2 have 5. It's like it says the first time in MLB history where a team had a 15-game span where one player had 10 home runs and 20 RBIs, and no one else had more than 1 homer or 5 RBIs. So if Cal Raleigh's not hitting, the Mariners are dead in the water. And Anderson's been pitching his best baseball at home. 2.63 ERA. So I'll go with the Angels at home in this one. I do think I think this is, again, I've said this through now 5 starts, but I think this is where Spencer Strider could stop the bleeding. I don't know why. Maybe I like getting kicked in the nuts. Who knows? But I gotta think that he bounces back at some point. Again, not when I'm rushing to bet, but I said maybe I'm just stubborn with Spencer Strider, and at a certain point, it's got to happen. But I don't know. We'll see. But we'll move on to the WNBA. 2 games on the board today. We got the Washington Mystics laying 7 at home against the Connecticut Sun, and the Dallas Wings 11.5-point home dogs against the Minnesota Lynx. Wayne, any of these 2 that you like here?
Yeah, I like the totals for both of them in the first game. Give me the under between the Mystics. Both teams been playing strong defense. Mystics do like to push the pace, but with the forwards and the bigs they kind of got to wait for them to come up court. But they have been playing solid defense, not only from the starters, but from the bench. And on the other side, we've seen solid defense from them and kind of inconsistent scoring. So I like the under. And the second game, give me the over. It's hard to take Dallas even getting this many points, but then again, Lynx haven't been covering because their lines have been overinflated due to how well they did last season. So I'm kind of staying off the spread, but I do like the over. I do think Dallas can score on the Lynx, and we all know how good the Lynx is on scoring. Lynx defensively not as strong as when they're at home, so give me the over in the Lynx versus Dallas.
Yeah, I'm going to lean towards the under in Sun Mystics. To me, this just looks like a game that's going to hang around 70s. First to 80 wins this game, if that. I think it's like 79-74, 79-73 for whoever gets the win. That one's just one of those weird, ugly, lower scoring games. So I like the under in Mystics Sun. And I like the Lynx when they were hanging around 9.5 at 11.5. I'm not going to touch it, but for me, it's a lean towards the Lynx. I just can't get the Wings defensively are so bad. I keep calling them the Alice Wings because there's no D being played whatsoever. So give me I would lean towards the Lynx if anything in that one. Jovan?
Yeah, it'll be Connecticut for me. These two teams played earlier this season. It was a 5-point victory for the Mystics. Um, Atlanta, well, Connecticut beat Atlanta, as 11-point underdogs last game, and I think that's a game where, it could lift their spirits as a team. They're 2-6. They're not the same team as they were last season and years past, where they were perennial playoff teams. Now they're most likely not going to make the playoffs this season. So they need their moments, within the season, to get up. And I think that game, is one of the examples for them to get up for the next game. And against a team who they were competitive against in that first game, I expect for them to be competitive in this one as well. I'll take the points.
All right. Move on to final game on the board. We got game 2 of the NBA Finals. It's the Thunder and the Pacers. Talk about that number, that magic number, 110, where the Pacers are undefeated in the playoffs when they've scored over 110. Thunder are undefeated in the playoffs when they've allowed teams to go under 110. So for me in this one, I got to lean towards the Pacers and the points in this one. I'm not saying they win it outright, but for me, 11 is just a ton to give up to a team that's proven that, they can win games and at least compete on the road and that they're never really out of it, no matter how many points you give up on the other side. So I don't get me wrong. I know the Thunder Buddies are one of our teams, but said for me, I got to think that this one is still going to be competitive, even if the Thunder tie up the series. So give me the Pacers and the 11 points. Javon?
Yeah, 11 points is a lot of wood to chop, especially in the finals. This is a number that you usually see in first round matchups where it's a 1-8, 1-8, teams or seeds going against each other. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you know, the Thunder had that last game, lock, stock, and barrel, and they let it slip. Part of it was coaching decisions. Part of it was, well, I mean, the large part of it was coaching decisions because there's no way you go small with Indiana in the fourth quarter. Especially when you have Harkenstein playing well. He's one of the handful of guys that was playing well, and you got a 15-point win, our lead, in early in the fourth quarter. I expect them to lock it down. They didn't do that. The Pacers got what they did, what they had to do to claw back in the game and win it on the last second shot. For me, it's going to be the Thunder to get the job done. But I can't fault anybody who's rocking with the Pacers. It's that simple, just based on what they've done in the postseason. They've won both games in their previous games 1 and 2 in the previous three series. So you can make a case for both teams for what they've done situationally in game 2. But for me, it'd be the Thunder to get the job done one way or another.
Wayne, what do you like here?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Both of y'all had great points. It looks like I got to be the tiebreaker. I'm gonna be with Jovan. But everything he said is correct. No problem with seeing somebody on the Pacers just based off the stats, based on what they've been doing this playoff series. But everything Jovan just said, as as he said, OKC had that game, man. I do think the Pacers have the better team, but this is more of a spot play. OKC just coming off a loss at home all season. They've been blowing teams out, and I think they can pull away in the fourth. One of the big things in that first game that helped them was a huge game from Toppin. I just can't see him playing two big games like that in a row. I think they kind of limit some of the people that kind of went off outside of the normal people to go off, like Siakam and stuff like that. So I do think OKC does a better job of limiting them role players, and they get the cover. I'll lay it with OKC in this one.
All right. So that's all. Anything else on the board that you guys might have missed that you wanted to go back to?
I look toward player prop in game 2. I can't see it right here, but Neesmith under his rebounds. I think he had 10 last game. And with the adjustments I think OKC is going to make, he's not going to have those type of opportunities. And, the Thunder's not going to shoot 40% from the field like they did last game. So there's not going to be as many opportunities, and even less for him. So, yeah, under rebounds for Neesmith.
Wayne, anything for you?
Nothing added. Just got locked in the parlay section, so I'll give it out during that.
All right. Yeah, nothing for me either. So we got lots going on over at Pick Dogs Premium today. Javon, what do you got going on over there? Is where we can find all of our best bets.
Yeah, rare bounce back day off of yesterday. I got a 3-pack in game 2 of the NBA Finals. I might possibly have 2 more plays in action. One of those would be a player prop that I particularly like. I just want to check out a couple things. I let a player prop pass in game 1, which was SGA 35 plus points. I got scared off of it for some reason, knowing damn well it was gonna hit. So I just want to check some things out on this one, and I'll be back on board. But with that said, I also have one MLB play up on the board right now. Is for check out something long term, to get all that action, because overall over here it's been hot.
Definitely make sure you check out Jovan over at Pick Dogs Premium. Wayne, what do you got on the board today?
Yeah, early start to the month, but it's been a hot start. Looking to continue that. Off of losing day though. Yesterday was my first losing day of the month, so definitely looking to bounce back. 6 MLB plays. Really love this MLB card. I have a 3-pack, and I have my best bet, and I have extra plays as well. So if anybody wants to hop on long term into next week, 3-day, 7-day, monthly pass will get you those games immediately, and we'll get you those extra games. You can pair me up with one of these guys you see on the show, anybody you see hot on the site, and let's continue to get money.
Definitely make sure that you check out Wayne over at Pick Dogs Premium. Get those best bets. And for me today, I got my $19 MLB pickoff play. Fell short with the Rays yesterday, but we're going to lock back in, get it back on today, and finish the week strong. Like that play. I also got my Sunday Slam MLB 3-pack. But it's like the guys have alluded to, definitely jump on something long term. It's the best way to go. Sometimes we have extra plays in there that don't necessarily make the main package that we have the website. We still love them all the same. So check those out. Remember to use the promo code PICK at checkout. Get 15% off your purchase. Compare any of us up. And you can put all 3 of us together in a multi-capper promotion. So make sure that you check that out. But parlay time, gentlemen. What do you got for a parlay today, Jovan?
Let's see. I have Detroit matched it up with Minnesota. That's the AL Central 2-teamer. And I also have Baltimore, and I'm gonna match it up with the Dodgers, begrudgingly.
Wayne, what do you got for a parlay today?
Yeah, like I said earlier on the show, I like a lot of unders and a lot of favorites. So I'm gonna give you a favorite parlay, MLB and under parlay. My favorite parlay, go ahead and put the Yankees, Royals, and Diamondbacks money line. As far as my unders parlay, Cubs, Tigers under, Diamondbacks, Reds under, Brewers, Pirates under, and you can throw the WNBA Suns, Mystics under as well. So it's a 4-teamer with unders for y'all.
See, for mine, I'm gonna go with take the Pacers plus the 11. I'm gonna take the under in Sun Mystics, and let's roll with the over in Diamondback spreads. All right, I think that's it. Javon, Wayne, I appreciate you guys joining me today. Everyone's watching. I appreciate all of you joining us. We'll be back at it tomorrow, back to the weekday show. You can check these guys out on the drive-through throughout the week as well. So definitely make sure you've also got videos over at the website. Plenty of free picks for you guys. So make sure that you check those out, and we will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. So make sure that you make it a winning day, and we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, Chris, be more professional tomorrow.
I can't do that. Me and professional don't go along in the same sentence.